So for last week, we have copied this, but yet we haven't really learned how we can make use of it. So I will
say a bit,
a bit only. Okay. So what actually happens is that there will be a lot of calculations in this chapter. So this chapter has, you must know this. Altogether there are 5 formulas that you must know. So we'll go through one by one and then we see how it can be applied. Okay, for example, let's look at the first triangle. The first triangle says that mole is mass divided by the MR. So I mentioned last week that the MR actually stands for molar mass. And to simplify things, we call it relative atomic mass and molecular mass. Relative, and of course there's another one which is a relative formula mass. For combined chemistry, this and this are important. Alright, so later I will give you all notes, then you all just need to actually memorize it. Yeah. So what does this relative means? The word relative. Do you understand what does the word relative? Relative is relate, cousins, which is someone that's related to you. But the word relative, it means that you are comparing with something. So the word relative, you're comparing with something. Remember last week I mentioned that actually generally all these atoms are really very light. And because they are really very light, there's no point for us to do literal mass weighing, because there's no weighing machine that we know at the moment at home that we can use to measure the mass. So therefore we actually compare. The story goes like this. We actually try to compare with hydrogens, if you all remember. So it's like that. Alright. So basically maybe this is an oxygen. Alright. And then we try to actually do a balancing using hydrogen. And then we realize that we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We need about 16 hydrogen. Then only we can balance 1 oxygen. Alright? Therefore, when we look at in your periodic tables, I hope you all bring your periodic tables. Like for example, when they say oxygen is like that, they actually give a number. There's an 8 here, and then there is a 16 here. And we know that what does this mean? What does this number mean? Anyone can? Correct, proton number. Alright, or atomic number. So basically they are telling us how many protons are there. And then this number here, okay? Correct, very good. So it's a nuclear number or mass number. So this number, it means that oxygen is 16 times heavier than hydrogen. But however, when you actually memorize this definition, there was something peculiar. It's like they was using this thing called 1/12 of carbon 12. In your definitions, you will realize that you are supposed to memorize this 1/12 of carbon 12. So the story goes like this. When they start using hydrogen to compare, it makes perfect sense because hydrogen is the lightest. It's the lightest element out there, so everything can compare with hydrogen. But they begin to insist that they want to use carbon. And when they use carbon, that's a problem because carbon originally is 12, which means that carbon is 12 times heavier than hydrogen. But if you're going to make carbon to be a unit as 1, let's say carbon is 1 unit. Alright? So what actually happens is this. How about the rest of others? So basically when it comes to oxygen, this number is no longer 16. This number will become 16 over 12. Correct? Because if you were to compare with carbon, everything will become a fraction. So the group of chemists actually say, how about this? Okay, carbon. So this is the carbon mass. Alright? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically carbon, I divided into 12 pieces, and everything compare with one small piece of this carbon. Alright? So if carbon is 12, 1/12 of it is how much? It's 1, right? Isn't that back to square 1, which is comparing with hydrogen? Yeah, but that's the stories lah. So basically, initially they agreed to use hydrogen to compare, and in the end they wanted to use carbon, and they have some difficulties. In the end, they say, okay, fine, we still stick to carbon, but we're actually comparing with 1/12 of carbon 12. So if you are confused by all this squabbling among all the chemists, then in general, just remember that when it comes to molar mass, you can just relate it to this. If you are confused from the very beginning when I say it, just remember the molar mass are actually talking about is just a nuclear number. Was it okay? Yeah, because it doesn't affect in our calculation at all. Was it okay? So how do we make use of this first formula? Very simple. The first triangle. Okay, so example, they say that maybe there is 6 grams of carbon, then find the number of mole of carbon. So how? So it's very simple. You just see what is the mole formula. So the mole is equals to mass divided by the MR. So the mass is given, which is 6. So it's 6 divided by. So you go to your periodic table, then you check. Alright, what is the MR of the carbon? So if the carbon is 12, right? So 12, 6 divided by 12 is 0.5 mole. Your parents are coming? Is your parents coming? Later? Okay, so 0.5 mole. So this is a very simple application of the first triangle. Let's move on to the second triangle. Mole is number. Alright? So what does it mean by number? So basically here it means number of particles. Number of particles. What is a particle? Particles can be atoms. Particles can be molecules. Particles can be ions. Alright? So I want to take some time to explain what is atom, what is molecule, and what is ions. Even though we have learned before, maybe it's good to revise a little. Okay, just a recap. Okay. Before that, how's your revision for your exam? Are you all ready? Okay. I give an example. Let's say glucose, which is the sugar that we eat. We don't need to memorize. I'm just going to give this. So C6, H12, and O6. So this is actually the chemical formula of glucose. Was it okay? So glucose is a sugar, and we all love sugar. So when I say what is the number of elements? Alright? So number of elements, typically in O levels, it means the types of elements. So how many types of elements are there? 3. Because there is one carbon, one type is hydrogen, another type is oxygen. So the number of elements is 3. Alright? And when they say the number of molecule, how many molecules are there? 4. How many molecules are there? 4. The answer is 1. Because these things are all connected and it becomes one huge ball of molecule. So the number of molecule is 1. But the number of atoms?
24.
24, right? Because there are 6 carbon, 12 hydrogen, and 6. So the answer is 24. So please understand the terms correctly here. So there is no ions here. Okay, I give you an example that may have an ions. For example, okay. So KCl. So again, the same questions. What's the number of elements here? There are 2, right? Okay. Number of molecule?
1.
1. Number of ions?
2.
Correct. The number of ions is 2. Why? Why is it the number of ions is 2?
Because K and Cl.
Correct. It's K and Cl. And we know that this is a metal. And this is a non-metal. What bond are you talking about when we take one metals and one non-metal combined?
Ionic.
Correct. So they are ionic. Very good, teacher. So ionic compound, therefore, they have ions. So that's why this actually, why is it 2? Was because there's a K plus and another one is Cl minus. Alright, we need to get these terms correctly before even I do this second triangle. Oh yes?
How do you get the mole equals mass and over molar mass? How do you get the molar mass?
Oh, this molar mass is nuclear number, and nuclear number you can get it from the periodic table. So that means this number, 12, is actually from periodic table. So that's why in your exam or your test, you will be given a periodic table. Okay, can So now let's proceed, which is this triangle. So they say that the number of what number? Example. So the second triangle. Okay, example. They say that there are 1.2 times 10 to the power of 24. Okay, what's the of this molecule? H2O. Is it okay? Then they ask you to find the number of moles of this H2O. So make use of this. So when they talk about molecules, or they talk about atoms, or they talk about ions, automatically the triangle that you need to recall is this. Alright? So how do you find the mole? So what is Avogadro's constant? Okay.
6.0
Correct. Avogadro constant is 6.0 times 10 to the power of 23. If you go to higher levels, these numbers will become a little bit different. It's 6.02. You go higher again, of course there will be more decimals. But all in all, Avogadro's constant for O levels, we can accept this number, 6.0 times 10 to the power of 23. So for those who are wondering what it is there, it's because this word, actually just like any other English words, alright, this word, like for example, we understand that one pair is 2. So 1 dozen is 12, correct? So 1 mole is actually 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So basically, 1 mole represents this number.
Actually 6.02.
Correct. So 1 mole is this number. So 1 pair is this number. 1 dozen is this number. So when you actually have this amount of number, what's the number of moles? So apply this formula. Mole is number divided by Avogadro's constant. So this part maybe you will all have to get really familiarized with your calculator. I will show you how you use a calculator. Okay, so basically here, so mole is equals to number divided by 6.0 times 10 to the power of 23 equals to 1.2 times 10 to the power of 24 divided by 6.0 times 10 to the power of 23. So can someone know how to calculate this? Okay. Did you make a calculator?
I don't even have a share one.
So answer 2. Remember they make the answer 2.
Yeah. Okay. I believe everyone is using this calculator that is approved by O-level. Okay, you can just share with him. This is FX96SG plus. Alright?
No.
Okay.
There is no on the calculator.
Okay, you all see this?
Yes,
Are you all using this calculator? Nick? You don't have a calculator? Joshua, can you sit next to, just for a while, just to get, so, try to get this calculator, yeah, it's 2, okay, so how, do you realize that in your this calculator, you have this 0, then followed by the dot, then followed by times 10 to the power of x, do you see this? Okay. So you can actually press 1.2. So you press 1.2. Alright, Joshua? You can press 1.2. Then you just quickly need to press the number which is times 10 to the power x. Just press that one time. Okay? When you press, can you see that the 10 a bit weird? Correct? After you press, it's times 10, right? But the 10 looks a bit smaller. Alright? This means it's times 10 to the power something. So you just press 24.
That's 24.
Because this is 24, right? Okay. Then divided by 6.0. Then what should you press? When they say times 10 to the power something, you just press the what? This button next to the dot. Alright? And then 23. Alright?
Is it like that?
Yes, correct.
And 23.
Yes, enter. Equal? 2. You get a 2, right?
Yeah, so got 2.
Yeah. Joshua, do you know?
No, I think it's below the 10 one. Times 10. Yeah. 23. Okay.
Can I? Yeah. Okay, then you press equal. What does it equal to?
2 times 10.
Oh, you have signs. Why yours is so weird?
Mine is using the scientific calculator, but not the normal one, that's why.
Oh, you press got shift 93 equals to.
You press more.
You press shift 93 equals to can already. Because it will reset the entire calculator.
But I need to shift. Okay. So can Joshua can understand? So make use of that button. Make use of this button that is times 10 to the power of x. Please make use of that because it will facilitate you next time in your calculation. So for this case, the answer is 2 lah. Okay, what happens if? Okay, so this is actually talking about water molecules. What happens if they were to ask, find the number of molar of H2O atoms? Okay, what is find the number of moles of water atoms? Is there a difference between when we talk about molecules and atoms?
Yes.
There is. So which means that inside the molecule of water, how many atoms are there?
3.
There are 3 atoms. So therefore, your number of moles for this answer, molar of atoms, of water atoms, is equals to 2 times 3. So that's 6. So be careful with what the question is asking. Alright? Because when they talk about molecule, it's the whole thing. If you're talking about the atoms, you're talking about what is inside, the individuals, atoms adding up together. What if I change these questions again? They say that find the number of moles of hydrogen in the H2O in water. Alright? So then how? How many hydrogen atoms are there in water? How many?
2.
2. So the mole is equals to 2 times 2. So the answer is 4. So you have to be really familiar with what they are asking. It can be just a very simple water, but when they ask for molecule, atoms, or a specific element in the water, the answers are all completely different. Was it okay? Okay. It's going to be quite formula intensive today, It will be quite confusing if you every single triangle you don't get it. Like you're a bit not sure, then of course when it's accumulated. Yeah. So please stop me at any point that you don't quite understand. Okay.
I think I don't really understand me, but I don't know what I don't understand me.
Okay. Which part that you don't understand, which part that you don't understand? It's like starting from the first triangle that you don't understand, or the second triangle that you are not sure. Do you know how to apply this formula?
Yes.
Who's going to say no? Huh? The one mass divided by the MR. No? Okay, I'll give you another example since you are confused. So another example here, let's say that it is 12 grams. Is that okay? Okay, 12 grams of this thing called methane, CH4. So this is methane.
Oh, I thought it was methane.
Yeah. Okay, so find the number of moles. Okay, so what's the number of moles? So the formula is what? Mass divided by the MR, right? So what's the mass? The mass is 12, right? Okay, but what is the MR? What is the mass number of CH4? Check from your periodic tables. So what is the mass number of carbon here?
12.
12.
16.
Can you find 12? Jisha?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So what about the mass number of hydrogen?
1 times 4.
Correct, 1 times 4.
So 5.
So therefore, it's 12 plus 1 times 4, which is 12 divided by 16, which is equals to
12 divided by 16.
0.75.
0.75.
So you understand the first triangle? Okay. So now let's move on to the second triangle. So the second triangle is talking about numbers. I give you an example here. So how many pairs of people here? 3. How many pairs of people here?
3.
Include everybody.
Include everybody. No.
Yeah.
5. Include everybody plus the parents.
Include the parents, yeah.
Include yourself also.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So 10 divided by 2, correct?
5.
Correct? Yeah. Why is it 2? Why you divided by 2?
Because it's pairs.
Correct? Because you divided by the word called pair is 2, correct? Okay, so now, for example here, how many dozen of people are here?
I just don't know.
It's
It's less than 10. More or less than 10.
Okay, so one more, that will be 1 dozen, correct? 1 dozen people, correct? So how do you know it's 1 dozen?
12.
Because it's 12. So you take the number of people divided by the word dozen, which means 12. So there are 11 of us, correct? So 11 people divided by 12, so it's 1 over 12 dozen, correct?
49166666.
Correct, correct?
Yeah.
So therefore, in a similar principle, now if I say how many moles of people here? So number of more people will be 11 people divided by 6.0 times 10 to the power 23.
That one is 1.8333 times 10 to the power of minus 3.
Do you understand? Why was it you divided? I asked how many dozen? You say divided by because of this word.
This one, this is the molar.
Yes, correct.
Okay, I thought it was the.
It's Avogadro's constant. That means 1 mole of something is Avogadro's constant. It's 6.0 times 10 to the power 23. Yes, correct.
There, here got answer.
Yeah.
1.1.
Can you understand, Jisha? You have to really understand before I can proceed. Is it okay? Do you understand? Because when I say how many pairs of people, you straight away know that you find the total number of people divided by 3. When I ask for how many dozen of people, you take the total number of people divided by 12. So when I ask how many moles of people are there, so you just take 11 divided by this Avogadro's constant. Okay? Can So we understand that we have learned 2 triangles already. The first 2 triangles that we learn is actually for all physical states. This is for all physical states. Alright, this is for all physical states. What is this physical states that I'm talking about? How many physical states are there in chemistry? O level. 4, correct? Huh? They are
solid, liquid, gas, aqueous. No, not aqueous. Aqueous is a solution. Plasma.
okay, aqueous, okay, and gas.
Plasma.
In chemistry we use it as aqueous. So solid, liquid, aqueous, gas, any of these you can use these 2 triangles. No restriction whatsoever.
Then plasma.
So there's no plasma in O levels.
Oh,
Okay?
I'm thinking plasma was also.
We don't learn. Not even in A levels. Okay, solid, liquid, aqueous, and gas. We apply these triangles. It can be applied for all physical states.
Oh, is this two? That is only the top one. Because that time it was this one, then I thought it was only this one.
Yeah, because the thing is, do you realize that this triangle is very different from this? There are 5 here, but there's only 3 here. Alright.
Oh, then last time you said,
I will explain why. Okay, later. Okay.
Then how do we look at the other 2 more?
Very interesting questions. Okay, the next 2 questions, the next 2 triangles is only for liquid and aqueous. Liquid, aqueous. Alright, which means the mole equals to concentration times volume, and concentration in gram per dm cube is concentrations in mole per dm cube times ml. So I need to go through what is concentration. What is concentration?
Concentrate.
Concentrate. So what do you mean by concentrate? When you say you are concentrating,
Focus.
yeah, you're focusing, right? So, but however, here the concentration is a bit different. Have you ever used this word, say that your mom, or sometimes when you order Milo Peng from a certain coffee shop, then you drink and say, yo, so dilute. You all ever use the word dilute?
No.
Yes. Or sometimes when you drink the Milo, then you say, yo, this is so concentrated. Or yeah, they say very thick. Yeah, that's one of the weird English word they use. They say very thick. 很厚. I don't understand what's that. but it's actually a known, right? Yeah. So basically, it's very concentrated.
And there's a lot of powder later.
Exactly. When I say, let's say that's talking about, let's say a cup. Okay. I do not know what Milo molecule looks like, but let's just say that there is Milo. Okay?
Yeah.
Then after that, this Milo, okay, is actually mingled around with water. Alright, so this is water. So from here, you can see that this is actually quite concentrated. It's because there seems to be more. Let's say that this is the Milo. The purple color one is the Milo molecule.
There is no Milo molecule, there's only sugar and...
Yeah, then this one is actually water.
No sugar.
Okay, so we can call this concentrated. When your actually number of particles seems to be quite a lot compared to the water. Another example, dilute, for example. Maybe you only have 1, 2, 3. And the person wants to save money, so he adds a lot of water for you.
That is not
Yeah, so for this case, this is the examples of dilute.
Alright. Higher water potential.
Yeah, it's like water, there's like a cup of water, then they just sprinkle a bit of Milo, and then they say, okay, this is your Milo pink.
I prefer green dilute. I like concentrated one. I like concentrated. I like more than.
Okay, so basically, when you talk about concentration, concentrated,
I like dinosaur. Milo dinosaur.
yeah, Milo dinosaur.
Milo sprinkle.
The most unhealthy.
Okay, so basically when you say concentration, it's the number of moles over the volume. So that is why the unit is mole per dmq. So someone just asked me what is dmq. Alright, we often more familiar with these units. 1 liter. So 1 liter is equals to 1000 milliliter. Which one? No, there's no formula. This is just the units. So basically, we are more familiar to liter. But in chemistry, we say that 1 liter is actually 1 dmq. 1 milliliter is 1 milliliter is 1 centimeter cube. Okay, so remember when you go to market, when you go to supermarket, then when you buy drinks, for example, so typically this one, they will say this is 600 ml. Alright, so 600 ml means it is 600 milliliter. But in chemistry, we use centimeter cube, so they are the same. What is cube? So power of 3. Was it okay? Okay, so when you say the word concentration, okay, Joshua, are you okay? Today I'm quite quiet, huh? So when you say concentration, basically you find the total number of Milo molecules that you can find divided by the total volume. Alright? So that's why it has a unit of mole per dm cube. Was it okay? So what is the formula that we are supposed to apply? Next is mole is concentration times volume. Was it okay? Mole is concentration times volume. It makes sense, because when you say concentration, right, what's the formula? You find the number of moles of substances, and then you divide it by the volume.
So you just need to find the concentration.
Sometimes they may give you the concentration, they ask you to find the mole. Sometimes they may give you the concentrations and the mole, they ask you to find the volume. Was it okay? So, correct, you have to follow the formula strictly. And you know what's the toughest part? To memorize it.
You have to memorize it.
You have to memorize all these triangles.
Oh, actually until now I never actually fully memorized last time's list 5 formulas.
I can memorize a bit, but sometimes I get wrong.
I can only memorize.
So have you all started your revisions? Huh? Haven't?
Started on what?
Your revision.
Oh, I did start a bit.
Same.
I did my chapter 18. I was trying chapter 18, you know, the disease again.
Okay, so since okay, everyone is here, right? Do you all prefer to have your tests separated? That means one day physics, then one day chemistry.
Yes.
Yes.
No. Physics can be like 2 hours. I think chemistry can be like 2 hours, so total 4 hours. But I feel no, because I want to finish it all in one day. That way.
I want to
Days.
no more than 2 days. What? 2 days. One day.
Okay, who prefer 2 days?
Not me.
Oh,
I'm busy already.
Hey, exactly. Also prefer one day. So
Huh? 3 of you only ah?
I cannot because I'm quite busy.
Wow! Do you understand what it means? Like one day, that means like on the 11th.
But can I ask you, because can we do this arrangement? If it's one day, then can we
Tuesday,
physics like 2 hours, then after chemistry 2 hours.
You want to stay all the way for 4 hours? For example?
Yeah. Yeah, better then we can be.
because Wednesday,
I haven't
Thursday,
got an answer
Friday,
from
I
parents actually.
still
Is anyone staying? Like on the day, right? It actually were to be extended because for Nathan and Nicholas will be 1.5 hours. So it means that will be 3 hours, so 2 to 5. So will there be any parents staying? So there will be someone staying.
They can spread out on 2 days.
Okay, so spread out. You don't want spread out?
I don't think so.
You don't spread out? So you don't like
Thursday,
cram
Friday.
everything and at the same time can do well?
Yes.
Serious? Can do well?
But only one day because it's the next day.
It's not the next day, it's the next
I
week.
cannot because I am crazy.
Next week, but only free at Tuesday and Wednesday.
No.
No. You don't, Joshua, do you understand? You still have to come what? Whether you're busy or not, you still have to come, right? You said, I'm not asking you to come another day. I'm asking you like, okay, 11th of May, which is a Wednesday, we have 1 paper. Then on the 18th of May, we have
Yes.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do a short half an hour revision. So basically, like for example, let's say that 2 p.m.
No,
is
I
our
want 2 hours all the way for like physics and then the next day 2 hours all for chemistry.
no, you only have 1 hour lesson. So that means 2 to 2:30.
Cannot, you guys.
Okay, so there will be a general revision.
Oh no.
Then 2:30, Nathan and Nicholas starts. Okay, then of course we continue revision for the rest. Then after that 3 to 4 is all.
Oh man.
Because Nathan's and Nicholas will be 1.5 hours.
Yeah, like 3 to 4 as well.
And then the rest are only 1 hour.
Can I do MCQ plus the second?
Wait, so the rest I do 3 to 4.
Yeah, we have revision
What does it
first.
mean by 3
So
to
then
4?
I do MCQ and then section A and section B for 1 hour only.
Yeah.
What? Wait, that means you still need to come at 2 Then we just do first, then we like wait for
No, you're not going to wait because I will continue revising.
Can I do the MCQ and the section B?
No, I already say already, right?
Where?
Huh? Oh, you want to try? Oh, okay.
You want to try what? Thanks.
So just remember,
Are you coming with us? Yeah.
Joshua and Zachary will be pure MCQ. Pretend to be pure MCQ.
Huh?
Pure MCQ means that just MCQ questions, 40 MCQ questions.
But 40 MCQ.
20 is for the.
Last time there's how many questions? Only 12 or 13 like that, right?
Wait, how come
they got 20?
Because they have to answer the long questions, structured questions. Okay.
You also 40 ah?
20.
20.
So we also, we 20 only?
Yeah.
20.
Younger than me, I will choose 20 or 40.
You don't get understand like, it's not just MCQ only for you.
You need to, I know,
You need
that's
to do
why.
section B, the first part.
I know.
Structured.
Wait, what?
The structured easy question.
The section C. But then I don't want to do the section C. I don't like section C. Whoa.
Understand? Then teacher. Then this is Chester, your
But I
mom
can take
Chester.
picture. Ah.
This is Chester.
Yay, don't have to do section
Then
C.
Xavier.
Oh, congratulations, dude.
I think another got two.
Congratulations. Hey, so loud. Why do it so loud? I can take picture.
Understand, right?
Then you have a lot of people coming with you, man. Yeah.
So essentially this, they will have 40 MCQ questions.
Nick was good. At first I was Nick is too big. Yeah, he's supposed to do something.
Nicholas have to do section A only.
Yeah, oh.
Okay.
Do they have to give him 1,000 or maybe 1 million questions?
Example,
Give him 10 questions and 1 minute to do.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
1 plus 1, 1 plus 1.
We're going to do a tough questions here. So basically let's say that
Oh no, I'm not finished copying my Milo.
Copy my one ah.
I never told you that you the Milo paddle. Next page. Why are you still playing this bacteria? I'm not even talking about
All kind of awesome things.
okay,
23 grams.
23 grams of sodium chloride
Milo powder.
dissolves in 1 dm cube of water. Then they ask you to find the mole dm cube in mole per dm cube. Because the thing is, they definitely will. Alright, they definitely will have to tell you what kind of concentration, the units of concentration that they will ask, whether is it in mole per dm cube or gram per dm cube. Because there are two concentrations, so they will have to tell us that what are they asking for. Okay, at this scenario, there will be something that we will find it a bit difficult, because if you look at this formula, there is no mass. And yet, the information given to us was in mass. Do you realize? This is mass. This is mole. This is volume. This is concentration. This mass doesn't seem to fit into any of this. You can't fit in.
Oh, we're supposed to use this and use that one.
Okay, so that is why this formula comes in handy. If you actually make an effort to memorize this, you'll be very easy. For example, they give you this mass, right? 23 grams. So mass is what? The gram, right? So where can you find the mass in this triangle?
First one.
The first one. Alright? So where did you find this volume? Because this is water, right? Remember, I said that this triangle is actually for liquid or aqueous, right? So where can you find the volume? Where can you find volume here? There. Correct? What the question was asking? They were asking for concentration, correct? Okay, so concentration is here, right?
Yep.
Correct? So now, how does mass can go all the way to here so that you can find the concentration?
Mass can find a mole.
Correct. From the mass, you find the mole. Alright? So basically, what is sodium chloride? What is the amount of sodium chloride? So this is 23, right? Then what is the amount of this one? 23 plus 35.5, right? You take 23 divided by 23 divided by 23 plus 35.5. What is the number of moles? Can someone tell me?
0.393.
0.393 and that's all.
Actually, still got some more lah.
What's that?
16.
What?
16.
16, okay.
2393.
Okay, 0.39316. Then what is the volume given to us? 1, right? So 0.39316 divided by 1?
Still the same.
Still the same. So actually, what do we do it here? We say that mole is equals to 23 divided by 23 plus 35.5. Then you get 0.39316. Then
This is not helping much.
which one? Do you put brackets?
My calculator.
Oh, you have to put bracket. Do you see? I put a bracket. Have to round off. Yeah. Wait divided by 0.3.
Bracket one.
I didn't put one bracket.
Wait a minute. Wait. I need the help.
So complicated.
I think later I need the help.
I'm serious.
I'm not sure.
23 out of 5.5.
Okay.
During the exam, do we need to have a
0 point.
Yeah. You can just one.
6 over 117. I'm not sure what it is.
Can you press this? This one? I teach you before.
6.
This one, just press this.
Yeah, change
Yeah, they change it decimal. Yeah, your calculator.
The calculator lost fractions.
Calculator lost control.
So that's why this triangle can help us to relate three formulas. That is this formula, and the fifth formula. So you combine into one. So sometimes students find that this is very helpful. Alright? Okay, so a lot of students was asking, is there a way to memorize? Okay, I don't really have a specific way, but one of my students teach me this. He said that you just memorize this, Voma, 24 mom, and Kobo. Okay, so what does he mean is like that, no? Or you just draw these triangles. You just draw this triangle, correct? You just have to remember the shape, how does it look like. So Voma, 24 mom, and Kobo. So you just put in what does it mean. So Vol means volume, mass, 24, mole, MR, concentration, volume. So I'm not too sure whether it helps, but I find that 24 mom looks quite scary. 24 mom. Imagine
Awesome.
you have 24 moms.
one guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How can one minute?
But if you know that, if you know that combo, or you can change it to convo, because I mean convo makes more sense. Because concentration and volume. Okay. So something to help us to memorize, because the thing is there are just a lot of formulas to memorize. It's quite sad, but O level is really quite a lot of stuff.
What is
Convo, concentration and volume. Convo.
But that was Kobo.
Also can. Yeah, I prefer convo myself because convo to me makes sense. There's a word for convo. Like convoy, convo. So yeah. But up to you, you want convo also can. It doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, it doesn't. But the 24 months definitely made a lot of sense.
I want something that doesn't make sense at all.
Okay?
To remember. Even
24 months. There you go. There you go. Then
Okay, can? Okay. There is a lot of formulas, I agree.
I totally do
Okay, are you all done with this?
that. No.
Okay. Let me teach what is a shortcut. What is a shortcut of try to reduce this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triangles into this. Okay? So there are 5 triangles, correct?
The 5 triangles are longer.
Yeah, of course 5 triangles is longer.
But when I see it's like just one triangle, 3 triangles.
3 triangles combined to 1. Okay, if you memorize this, the Volma 24 month convo, then you already settle this triangle, you already settle this triangle, you already settle this triangle, correct? You already memorized the first triangle, the third triangle, and the fifth triangle, correct? Okay, now let's move on to the fourth triangle. Okay, so fourth triangle basically means that there are 2 units of concentration, just as temperature. Does anyone know that what is the unit for temperature? Degrees Celsius. Any more?
Fahrenheit, Kelvin.
Fahrenheit and Kelvin.
I said Kelvin. Yeah, I know.
You copy me.
So basically, if you notice that even concentration has 2 different units. One of the unit is gram per dm3, another one is mole per dm3, correct? Imagine if I were to close this dm3, what does it actually mean? Gram and? Does it remind you of one particular triangle that looks like there's a gram and mole?
the first one.
The first one, correct?
Oh yeah.
Correct? So that's why you don't really need to memorize the fourth triangle, because you can just close this and you know that you can actually use the first triangle to settle it. Correct? And how do you settle this one? Just remember, 1 mole is what? 6.0 times 10 to the power 23. Just memorize this and you can actually save your brain space of memorizing the second triangle. Okay, so let's apply this one. Okay, for example, these same questions, if they ask you to find the concentration now in gram per dm3, then how? How do you find? So you have mole per dm3 already, right? Okay, you have mole per dm3. So you have mole, right? Can you get the concentration in gram per dm3? You have this, right? You have this concentration. How do you find this concentration? Times the MR, right? So therefore, this one, right, the concentration is 0.393 times the MR. So what's the MR? 23 plus 35.5. Alright, so what is the answer? 23.
Yes, it's 22.9905.
22.9905.
9905.
I didn't even know the answer in any house. Because you didn't copy me. I only have 23. And the answer was 2.
So when you say concentrations, if you are very good with your units, if you look at this unit, this is gram, right? This is dm cube. This means gram divided by dm cube. I can actually do a shortcut without even using any of this information, because this is gram, this is dm cube, right? Can you see this? This is gram, this is dm cube. How does gram divided by dm cube? You take this number divided by this number, correct?
Still 23.
It's still 23. So you look at this unit. This is gram slash. Slash means what? Divide. So what? The unit itself gives you a clue. Because it says gram, yeah, slash means divide. So they say gram divide by the dm cube. So you have the gram and the dm cube. Can you find the concentration now?
23.
Just take 23 grams divided by 1 dm cube. So what's the answer? 23 grams per dm cube.
Isn't it the same?
But this is easier. If you know the units.
What about?
Because this first formula you have to use what? This is concentration times the amount. Okay, who are confused? You can raise hands.
I should say you have to trust it.
Okay,
Let's have a quiz to sign
Yeah, wait.
okay, which one?
What is the DM3 just like 1? I should say the orange
Oh, they
part.
give us there.
Orange
The question was saying there's 1 dm cube.
Yeah, so D and Q, I thought the 3 times 3.
3
I mean the
times 3.
orange
No,
part.
what?
Oh!
Yeah, then how come still like divided by the
That's why
thing,
I myself, I don't like these units because why people always think that hey, this 3 means everything must times 3. But actually it just means like this dm
A cube.
times dm times dm. Okay,
Let's go.
so what is that? Actually this is volume.
Cube.
Have you have you learned volume already?
Yeah. What?
Not yet.
Oh, I learned volume already.
So just remember that this is just a unit. Don't get this confused. This is just a unit. This 3 has no effect whatsoever.
I saw this thing before and my mother told me it's times 3. So I
Oh.
times 3 or
No need. This is just a unit. It's like because that's why I personally I like to use liter. Because liter don't have a 3, right? Then it's not confusing. So actually this 1 dm cube actually is 1 liter. 1 L.
What I don't understand is just the orange part except for the
Which orange part? The upper part or the lower part?
Oh.
Or both? It's okay, you can tell me both.
See,
Okay.
except for the 24 months.
Okay, this is concentration, right? Okay. So look at this is concentration, right? Okay, this is also concentration, right? Okay, can you tell me that this number fit into this concentration or this number fit into this concentration? Is it the one at the below or the one on the top? On the top. Is it the same? This is the unit is mole.
Hey, no, it's on the bottom, the one that.
Huh?
On the bottom.
At the bottom, Okay. So the question was asking find the concentration in gram per dm cube. So they're asking for what is this?
Concentration.
Okay, So they give you this information, right?
More volume.
They ask you to find what is this, right?
So when it says this one times the
Yeah, what's MR?
molar mass.
Correct, times the molar mass. So this is the molar mass. Why is it 23?
Wait, how did you oh that's molar mass, yeah.
Why is it 23?
because over there it put 20.
Because sodium is 23. Why is 35.5?
That's for chlorine.
That's for chlorine, correct. So that's why it's 23 plus 35.5.
Good. Do we have the bracket that we are doing our calculation?
Yeah, correct. Because your calculator very sensitive. When you actually put this in your calculator, you just put 0.393 times 23 plus 35.5, right? Your calculator will follow this BODMAS rule. BODMAS means that do the bracket first, multiply, divide,
They will put the
then
what
add
error.
and the subtract will do
They will
later.
put error thing.
So that's
The
why,
what error?
Use brackets to do
Error,
it first.
error.
Like usually when I put wrongly, right? Like usually say
Because they do
what
syntax
error.
okay, can you try? Whether you got
Syntax
error? Use your calculator?
Yeah.
And then usually like
Is that it?
Huh? You're not using calculator?
no, it's
Guys, syntax error.
yeah syntax error.
What's the error?
It's I don't know.
Okay.
It's where
No, you try. Where's your calculator?
Hey, you're not, you say the wrong answer. 44, 49, 5, 3, 9, error.
Sometimes there's no error.
There's no
Sometimes they
error.
give you a different answers.
There's different answer.
You know why? Because the calculator will calculate this first. They find what is this value first. Then only they add.
That's why you have to use bracket because they're using that formula. So you have to use. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to put here brackets. Then this one times 2.
Then this is the correct answer.
Which one? What's the correct?
You all realize that this is important. Have you all learned bod mass?
I learned it. Yes. I learned long time ago. I learned it. Never heard it before. I think we learned in math class. I learned it last time. No, we did in math class in board math.
Okay. Teacher, this one settled already? Can you understand?
Yep.
Okay. This formula, this is no formula. This is basically is because the unit itself give us a clue. Because they wanted in gram for dm cube, right?
Yeah, I use that.
So it's gram slash dm cube.
Gram divided by dm.
Correct. So just take gram divided by dm cube. Just take 23 divided by 1. So this is easier. Okay?
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay, good.
Everything is awesome. It's much easier.
Okay.
Let's have a mini quiz to see.
Can we do mini quiz, but
No, I will go through one more. Okay, I will go through one more.
Okay.
quiz.
At least
No,
The last triangle. How to apply?
equals to G share equals to
This is only for gas. This is only for gas.
no. G star over Eta equals to Chester. Chester over Chester equals to Eaton. And Eaton
Okay.
over Chester equals to
So the last, the fifth triangle.
yeah, I think so.
Okay. 17 grams of ammonia
Oh no.
present.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
We know.
yes,
Yeah,
oh.
we. I'm so excited.
Then find the volume of NH3.
He's not happy.
Alright?
Present in this room.
The volume of NH3. So you realize again, okay, this is gas. Huh? So the questions have to tell you what physical state this particular compound is, because if they were to ask for volume, it will be quite confusing, because in the sets of the formulas here, there are two areas where there's a volume. There's a volume here and there's volume here. They will tell us whether what physical state. So for this question, they tell us that this is a gas. The ammonia is gas.
So you can use constant.
Sodium, hydrogen,
Okay.
or 14, more than 1 mole. Its concentration is
Uh-huh. Can. Yeah.
That's the round off.
Yeah.
They say
Okay.
Okay, but
So if you realize that according to this triangle, right, it doesn't have mass. The triangle here has mole, it has volume, it has this number, magic number 24, but it doesn't have mass. Then how?
What's the first triangle?
use mole times MR.
Okay, so basically we need to use this triangle first, correct? Because I need to find out what's the mole here. Correct? So the mass is given. Alright, 24 is given. Yeah, it's given. You have to memorize that 24. Okay, so how do you find the mole?
What's given?
Find the
Yeah,
MR.
yes. What's the MR? This 24, you're supposed to memorize this. You're supposed to memorize this 24.
MR is Mr.
Okay, so
Okay.
what is the name for that?
This is 24.
MR is of 10.
Yeah. So what's the MR of nitrogen?
The MR.
14, right?
Yeah.
Alright. What is the MR for hydrogen?
1.
1, huh? 1 and 1, correct? So 17 divided by 17 is?
Still 1.
So it's 1, right? So what's the volume?
24.
1 times 24, right?
Yeah.
So how do we present it? So first you have to find the mole is equals to mass divided by MR, which is 17 divided by 14 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is 1 mole. Then the volume is 1, which is what?
How do we know
Mole.
the Mr. again?
Times again, I'm sorry?
How do we know the Mr. again?
Mr. Mr. Mess.
What is the molar mass?
Mr. Mess.
What is the molar mass?
How do you know the mass again?
Mr. Molar.
Can someone tell where can we find the molar mass?
I know, for N and H. N is 14 plus 1. No, N is 11. 11. 14
Mass divided by mole.
N is it 14?
Oh yeah. I look at NA.
Okay.
Nah.
Is the mass divided by mole?
Plus.
Mr.
Yeah.
Okay?
Wait.